With the US midterm elections approaching, the issue of cybersecurity has come once again to the fore in Washington. The Senate Intelligence Committee has held a hearing on how to best counter Russia and other countries in their alleged attempts to interfere in America's domestic affairs. That's all just a day after Facebook took down Facebook and Instagram accounts, which it said aimed to influence voters. Caleb Maupin explains more.
Russian information warfare in our own backyard.
After Election Day, the Russian government stepped on the gas.
The Russians in this case and others see us as a cheap date.
The Russian activity seeks to turn the normal differences of opinion among Americans into headlines about unbridgeable political divisions.
The Russian government came into the house of the American family and manipulated us.
As you might suspect, the story goes on the same way we've heard it many times before. Essentially, Russia is accused of encouraging controversy in the United States around issues like immigration, guns, racism, and all kinds of other things.
Cyber attacks remain a core part of Moscow's arsenal. Content is created, tested, and hosted on platforms such as YouTube, Reddit, and Pinterest. It's pushed to Twitter and Facebook with their standing audiences in the hundreds of millions, and it's targeted at the most receptive.
This is a problem of the entire information ecosystem. This is cross-platform. Reddit confirmed hundreds of IRA-created accounts. Tumblr did it.
Now, one thing that's lacking in this report, just like in so many other similar reports, is any solid actual evidence.
Can you estimate the number of Americans touched by Russian-linked activity in this area?
No, that is very difficult to do.
And I'm concerned that even after 18 months of study, we are still only scratching the surface when it comes to Russia's information warfare.
In their effort to influence the American mind, apparently the Kremlin has one very, very powerful weapon.
A lot of pride-related content, less news, more memes.
This isn't just a couple of platforms. This is music apps, this is video games, this is meme sharing. It's much broader than Twitter and Google.
In the portrait that the testimony painted on Capitol Hill, you essentially got the impression that Americans' minds are very easily manipulated, that all it takes to influence the way Americans think about world events and politics is to give them a video game on a computer or a meme to look at, and all of a sudden their minds are changed. Now, repeatedly during the hearings, we heard members of Congress expressing frustration with the American people, saying that they were angry that the Americans weren't just listening to what they called the good sources, and we're instead listening to other news outlets, other voices expressing different views. From there, we also heard a call, interestingly, for classes on media literacy to be given in American schools so that Americans can know what news outlets they should be listening to and what news outlets they should not be listening to.
There is a need to build resilience in target populations. This will include long-term effort to implement media literacy training and integrate such training into classrooms.
Very interesting. It was quite a day on Capitol Hill.
The idea that memes and video games and whatever they're pointing to could have any significant influence in our democracy is frankly a joke. This makes no sense at all. You know, you look at the United States that has Hollywood, right? Films that have amazing influence in every country in the world. Whatever these memes were, video games pale in comparison to that type of cultural influence that the U.S. has.